ourselves in, and we'll start with your prediction. Where do you think this is going to sit?
Oh, both teams to win, each way.
What? I don't think.
Sorry.
Throw it to me right there.
Sorry, wrong place and time.
Wrong place and time.
Like, I was like
yeah,
so
that's
confused.
not
I wasn't sure.
I have one worrying statistic I think I'm going to bring into about Bank. Well, it's actually a two-sided worrying prediction for both these teams. One, ENX haven't played it in a long time, at least on the sort of top end of stuff. I'm not sure if they've played it on more personal things, but 4 months ago they took a loss to FaZe Clan 1-7. That tracks. That makes sense. 9Z 0-5 over the past 180 days on this map, including losses to Furia, Twice, Loud, NIP. They're getting in some ways worse and worse. They went from 6-8 OT losses to Furia and Loud to 1-7 and 3-7 by Black Dragons and Furia respectively over the past 30 days. Have ENX learnt from that, do you think?
Well, the thing, see, whenever you're obviously a weaker side, first thing we always look at is how good's your map pool. And I think for weaker sides, you can kind of look at that across all of the regions. Teams who are down at the bottom will just have maps that they cannot play. And maybe this is a situation, maybe we're kind of in the kind of realm of possibilities where it's just one of the few maps that they can play. That doesn't mean they can play it well, though. There's a difference between playing a map well and just playing a map.
Yeah, I think that there's the elements of it to it as well, obviously, where you get that opportunity to, as I said, stretch your wings a bit. I think that a map like this is a confidence map. I think the way you can sort of approach this map is a confidence map. You'll set yourself in on decent sort of possibility of having that level of exploration, and from then and there, where does it sort of go? Well, that can come down to the wider map pool, as you sort of say. That can come down to how you feel on certain maps. But ultimately, as I said in the pregame, because there's no risk in that weird way, there's only real reward. But the reward is the chance to sort of show what you can do. And that comes for just sending it. Top floor. We start on here. Classic sort of setup and hold. You'll obviously get your Valkyrie play in the stretch. Time to waste on these windows with those gates. Both range hard breach gone to make attacking this site more than anything a bit more tricky and intricate. But then obviously when you look towards hatches, there'll be a little bit of a change, but it is mainly just for this site. Then the castle in the mirror gone as well. None of that sort of stretched extensions here. It feels like it's going to turn into a very quick hop in and brawl demo.
Yeah, I find it interesting that they've went top floor. Obviously, I understand with the hard breacher bans, the range ones. I mean, can't get opened up that you mentioned, but then also to see the the defense bans, Castle and Mira are great for this bomb site. It makes this bomb site playable. You don't have to worry about the windows as much if you have those two operators. So without the defense having that, then it kind of balances out. Almost do not think Yami, but I would probably still give the slight tip over the attackers just because this window gameplay, I mean, this for me is what makes this top floor so difficult, and that's why you have to rely on operators like your Castle, like your Mira, to give yourself a bit of protection.
Well, the first is picked away, and it's the Azami gone. They've also now suddenly got another two, almost immediately. Sexy Cake with the glass, just pushing in. Pressure, pressure, pressure. And it's made diamonds. There is only Vicente left. Oh, but he's not even able to get one. Too many options. And ENX just sort of wrapped it, put a bow on it, and said, round's done. Let's move on to the next.
I don't know. Feels like you've went into a restaurant, you've ordered the chicken, and a live chicken has just came up to your plate and just died in front of you. It's sacrificed itself. That's what it feels like. They just no fight back. Just all of them dead within 2 minutes.
I'm kind of curious what they did. So obviously we had the smokes pop, right? We had the glass pushing up. We knew where they wanted to go with the pressure. And then I think the defenders just went, oh, we could send this. We could lean back into this. We could... oh, no, they've killed us all. They've beaten us.
Weird round. But, anywho, basement time. Janka, smoke. This is our combo, Amy.
I mean, we've had it so many times at this point, but I think it's just going to be proven right. the balance of what they've got here, especially with the Denari as well, assuming that's going to set itself up inside blue stairs, is slow them down. Servers, they're going to push servers. We've got servers locked down. So what do you do here, Demo? Well, you look at all the pocket hard breach, you look potentially with the Blackbeard on towards the back of the site, and then you just circumvent the chance at a lot of that being caught out. They've got the Twitch, but there's no Goyo, so at best it might cause some problems for the Fenrir, and obviously the Denari, which could lead them in to get their slip through, but otherwise, again, it just feels like it's going to turn into a brawl, and with that, I favor ENX.
And don't forget about as well about Twitch, big old DMR, and we know how popular they are in the current meta, so another reason why you would bring the Twitch is just for the comfort factor of having a great weapon on your side. Now, for a turtle, we typically don't see Roman Wamais in towards that top floor, and that is a very risky strategy. But we'll see if they can try and find some picks, but... Oh, there we go, he's gone. That's that. And goes the Roman Wamai! Down he goes!
Yeah, you think about that gadget,
Okay,
how
and a
it
Roman
gets better.
smoke,
There
yeah.
goes another, there goes
Get me
another
out.
one!
Get me out. Get me out.
Man! No, it's gonna be one of... You said it! You wanted this game!
This isn't, no, but this is like, they're trying to be seriously, and it's just really bad siege. If you're gonna do something funny, like open up every wall that you can see with the Chanka, just run around with like Boss G's and the DMRs on D, like that's the kind of stuff you want to see, but this is just, you know, bleach my eyes.
So, we might be in for partial silly hours.
We've already been casting for 5 minutes.
Yeah. This is potentially... This is Davide's game of the day.
Attackers need to locate
For what reason?
You have to ask Davide. I can't tell you. Only Davide can tell you. Anyway,
Oh,
how are you doing? Good?
I was doing fine until this.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Yeah, but it's only just started. I'm just lightening the mood a little for the eventual downslide of
10 seconds left before
emotional stability I feel like we're going to go through.
5 seconds left.
What do you think the next band's going to be? I'm just trying to find options for you here, buddy.
I can't believe we're already talking about bans. That's how quick this game is going, because it's just...
trying to give you lifelines.
You know, it's nuts. 50-50, please.
Unfortunately,
Just say ask for a lifeline, there you go.
they're going to ban a Blackbeard. I mean, alright, let's see what can happen. They've been able to get sort of a bit of momentum going. There's been... I've only just noticed there's 1 kill over 2 rounds for 9Z. This could be a little bit more of an awkward of sight. They're keeping themselves moving on towards open. They've obviously got the things to delay out. We're back towards the Glaz play. You've got the chance at them just self-smoking and sending themselves in, which does feel like what Sexy Cake might want to do. They in underneath. I love the double push control here. So they've got Angels obviously taking control as the Dockerbee of the garage side at the same time of going in on towards Archives. Or servers even. Here's the throw. The Glaz is in. The Blackbeard's in. They're also just pushing up the stairs. Where are the defenders? Where is anybody?
Everywhere but the site. They're top floor, they're inside of admin office still. Like, I mean, this Echo is just fighting at just a horde.
Are you...
Like, oh, there's nobody helping this guy.
I am a little bit speechless. This could be the worst defense I think I've ever seen. I don't, like...
Where is the Aruni? Why are you in square?
I really don't understand. Because usually you can see something go wrong. Usually you can get the pieces together. I can't even really piece together what they were trying with that defense. And I don't even think ENX could. I think ENX just sent it inside the building. I don't know if Fresh is watching, but it watches all the Siege as much as he can. But I would love...
Is he not currently lying on a sun lounger in Spain right now?
Potentially, but I think even just that round being played out hurt him.
That would actually
Like that
ruin his
scene-
time if he watched
the
this.
scene
I think
from
that would actually
Akira.
ruin his getaway.
Where it just like, and it holds his brain. That just happened. A timeout. Yeah, I mean... Yeah, I don't want to be negative. I don't want to be the negative one of our duo. It means you've got to be the positive one. What are the positives you can take away from that defense?
Not even going there. We're not. Whenever you're dealing with a game like this, where one, you've got a team who just doesn't know what they're doing. That's the only way that we can phrase this, Emmy. Yeah, that's as simple as that. And everyone they'll be thinking the same thing. Nine said, if they watch this back, they'll be laughing at themselves, thinking, "What are we doing?"
All right. New day, new this. They banned the glass, a sexy cake. Let's take the consideration of what the glass was doing there. They were just self-smoking and looking for picks. Yeah, okay, you're looking at the sort of hop-in window on the open site. You're looking at the pressure that was applied across the breach up top. Fine. But how many years has it been since Glass was an entry? How often do we see people try it and it gets shut down immediately? Echo was the other ban. Plays against the shields. They're going to keep on with the shield. We have a Monty this time. ENX might slow down just a little. Let's take note at this point. 1 kill over 3 rounds for 9Z.
Monty's actually, I think, even what you don't want to see right now if you're 9Z, because I've talked in depth about how Monty, this is his map. This is by far and away the best place you can use this operator. So I feel as though things might just even get worse, but this is a basement. Emmy, last time they were here, I seen a 4-man roam.
Attackers are moving to defend
Yeah, I'm hoping they don't play into the roam game. You know, I think it's the thing of it's sort of like, I get that there's no stakes. And this is the main thing I have to sort of say. I get that there's no stakes. But play it. I asked to see some crazy stuff, right? I asked to see pocket plays. Not throwing themselves on towards the mantle. Anyway, timeout. They've had their conversation. Can they net on the 3rd round their 2nd kill of this game? You sort of, you know, look through the history of how the team has played. Obviously, they, in stage 1, for the bottom team, they're able to pull a win. This split, it's gone worse. They've been unable to reach overtime. They haven't got a single point. And
Nah, get me out.
what was the...
No.
Are you kidding me?
No.
They got a kill!
No.
They got a 2nd kill, baby! Oh, then he's instantly traded.
The fact that you're celebrating that shows us where we are in the game.
2 kill. If it's 2 kills on 4 rounds.
Oh my.
So,
I mean, like I said, I didn't want to see roamers, and
okay,
they're going for it. They're
Monty
roaming.
might be surprised here. Now they're not going to be.
I think the news up here anyway. I think
The
the
news
other
up
idea is
here.
taking some damage. So,
Florio
yeah.
gets the end of Tuku. Vicente's hurt. Oh, does get a 3rd kill. Double kill for the round. Vicente activated. Goes for the rotate round. The roaming Shanker. The site is empty, but the kit is with Monty on the top. The pre-fire does not work. Even on the back of a ping, Vicente in an ace do or die situation. The Monty's off. Ooh, almost catches the tail end of Florio. Drops into the site and needs to reload. And then gets locked out.
Yeah, just... I mean, come on. This is not how this map is supposed to be played. It's not. I'm speechless. Just... I don't know what to say.
It's kind of tough right? But it's also, I get, you know,
Being defused by
look at the positives here. ENX, they're playing a solid game ahead of them. I'm not going to say that they're doing their sort of strictest A game because you physically can't. In a game like this, you could see, as I said, on round 2 or round 3, whenever it was on open, they were surprised that the site was entirely empty. They were surprised that they were able to, like, swan in, put the pressure in, and take it away. But they're communicating. They're being responsive towards where 9Z are. It's a great sort of close down, obviously attempted on towards Vicente, but he gets the kill. But you could see that they were baiting him out to swing on towards the Monty. As you said, they know he's there. He had an idea as well, and he gets his second kill of the game and of that round. Are they going to get a little bit too lost in the sauce? I guess time will tell as we go back to the basement again.
Yep. Roman again.
Oh, I think that's going to be the consistent.
Well, this is... it's really weird because we've got the smoke to Chanka again, and then also the tub. Then we're just seeing the tub with then open hatches, I'm pretty sure. So what's he actually going to be able to use the gadget for? I don't know. Is it just a case of bringing it for the DMR? You got Jaeger and ATMs? Like... This is, yeah. Wow. Oh, I love this game. Oh, I love this game. Yeah, I don't blame you, Boxer. Who would be thinking there's gonna be a guy taking out a deposit? Who would have thought that the Jaeger's in there catching checks?
They can't get the trade. They do get Vicente. That is your Tubarão gone on the top floor on a basement site hold. Obviously, none of the canisters utilized. Remember when I talked about, when we were here on like the first round, I was talking about like the operator selection, how that can play in towards how you can delay approaches and be a bit mobile and yada yada and expectations. Remember that? That was nice.
It was.
All right, they forced the players back down to the site. Now they're going to start trying to get things cracked open. This is maybe the most standard of a defense we've had so far, in that they're all back towards the site. We might get the operation of a round here, demo.
If only they had somebody alive to maybe delay those hatches for a couple of seconds, eh?
Would have been nice.
You know, it would have been great.
But
It's actually a back take.
Yeah, they're going to try and drop in on the back take, as I said. I think it's almost similar to the points I made not too long ago. When you know you're up against the sort of Shanker and the smoke, and you have a shield and you're confident with it, you can try and put the pressure here on towards a back take. They're still opening up the other side. I think they're just flirting with danger. There's no Goyo canisters to slow it down, but there is a lot of otherwise time to be wasted. There's the reveal of obviously a Jaeger. It's an awkward fight to want to take, so it's just going to sort of read that out. He is the one with the kit, though.
Tracked, yeah.
30 seconds. The pressure's coming in on the back. There's the force, and there's one kill out, but it's traded out with Florio. Great double kill. Snappy either side. The pre-fire for the third. And Sexy Cake gets the end of that one. The hardest they've had to work, but it's still ENX's at the end of it.
Yeah, it's the most structure I think we've had in this game so far, but just a moment of brilliance really there from Florio. I mean, that's just going for it. Drops the hatch. Great double kill. And then to get the third as well is almost like the cherry on top. I think they've done a good job as well, just of kind of identifying, okay, what do we need to target? Obviously, that Jaeger was, you know, causing some issues for the fuse. He couldn't drop in the elevator safely. Just wait until the demos get some track, make him force back out of that position, and then you go for your execute. So just little things like that has been good for ENX. But still the same old woes again for 9Z. Just, what's that? Is that 5 kills in 5 rounds?
Yes, that is, Demo. Yes.
Oh dear.
They almost all have a kill now, though. They're almost all engaged with the kill game.
Yeah.
There was almost the possibility we could have had multiple 007s from this game.
Like, this feels as though that we've went out for a picnic and the weather is horrific. We're caught in a gale-force wind with heavy rain, and you're sat there, Emmy, on the bench, thinking, oh, it'll dry up soon, don't worry.
Yeah, I mean, I put on this lovely little summer dress. I made some lovely sandwiches, and I'm going to enjoy this. there's the other side of this, which is maybe these two teams just really want to watch the other banger games we've got on. Immediately after this, we flick towards the top of the table, and then we have 3 potential do-or-die games. It's a very exciting...
Maybe ENXers try harden. You know, maybe is this... Did we ever consider that? Maybe these guys are just being losers and just trying too hard.
9Z getting all chat like, who drones?
You know, it's crazy. For a game that means nothing, these guys are sitting here droning? Oh, no.
Disgusting.
Bringing shields?
Bringing shields? Pathetic. You really gonna play the Lion Shield the Dokkaebi combo? Like, what are you, just a tryhard? Doesn't feel like they're going for the immediate routes around the rest of the map. Obviously, the limitations on the glass will limit some of the approaches here that we saw last time, where they just tried to, well, I say try to, they successfully pushed across top square and banked some pressure in. Here, they're being held at bay a bit. And it sort of felt right, then suddenly went wrong. But the positions have changed here. So now, instead of going for top square, ENX have gone for a lobby approach. They're inside the big lobby. They're moving their way around. They're trying to catch the player. Great combo of utility there. ENX, as I said, what they're putting into the game is great demonstration.
Yeah. And just playing it really simple now. You know, just sitting on windows, doing what you need to do. And this is just where it comes back to, obviously, the castle and the mirror ban. It just makes this top floor so incredibly difficult to defend. And I think it really limits as well the trade factor, because obviously if there's kills happening from the window, how do you really trade that? Realistically, you can't. So yeah, I mean, ENX is just doing the basics. I'm just waiting for that Monty to walk his way up in through Spiral. You can see that he's in lobby right now, so again, his approach will be here. In the meantime, we're still seeing some more action over towards Janner, but you see a kill come back. Make that 2 kills finally. 9Z for the first time actually have a kill advantage.
Well, can they try and push this one towards the end? There's a swing out. It's just a shield left, massively hurt. Great pressure they get around. It's not a flawless half. It's not a flawless game. They have a breath. But now they have to do the flawless in response on attack on bank. Maybe this is the sign of a bit of energy. Maybe this is the sign of a bit of game coming together here, Demo.
Well, it's something. Not going to get completely clean swept, but I mean, it's close enough. 5-1. Don't think ENX will be complaining. They also now get the defense. I mean, if you look at how those defenses were structured, yeah, and they didn't really have an understanding of how you do some of those defenses. How on earth are they going to be able to structure attacks? Defending is supposed to be the easy side of the two. But no, I worry.
I think that's the sort of drive of it here, right? The limitations that the Scent Capital, that's a very interesting pair of bands there. Against the Kaid and the Shankar is a very particular set of bands. You're obviously looking at the ground floor. Basement is going to be quite awkward for the defenders. That's why they've gone to limit it first. But I really like a Capital ban.
It's certainly, I think, an operator that maybe sometimes kind of goes under the radar. Because Capital, I think, fills a lot of different roles that you would like to have in the team. One, obviously has his almost, I don't want to say denial, but just area kind of clear out, you know, crowd control with the fire arrows. You also bring in smokes, which is always going to be helpful whenever you're going for executes. And also works really well if you want to smoke vert holes as well, which normally you can't do unless you have the Capital. And then he also has breaching charge, or not breaching charges, hard breach charges, which again, for a map like Bank, whenever you're dealing with, again, primarily hatches, whenever you look over towards the basement, you know, he's killing a lot of stuff just with the one pick. So yeah, I like it as well. Obviously that sense ban, you know, that has been a massive thing in the meta, especially in Bank, where we see that sense be used on the hatch just to cover massive line of sights to go in for those plants with your team. So yeah, I think overall really good bans for ENX if you just want to try and stop that basement. They may still struggle whenever it comes to that top floor, you know, with hard breachers open. Once that cannon wall gets opened up, whenever we go to that top floor defense, then yeah, it's going to have some issues.
Well, they've got themselves the op that, I'm not going to say something smash and grabby, playing the Blitz alongside the Ying, alongside the Deimos. Always gives you the idea if they want to try and find somebody to hunt and then root them out. And, well, there's the first option. Now they're safe with a chance to drop down. If they want to get out of there, they're going to hold. They can see the track coming as close to them as they can see to the other person. There's some support so nobody just swings round. They're so well aware of each other. And, oh, that was pretty dang good. Sexy cake. What an expectation there from Vicente. The pressure's coming round. Angels gets Tuku. And then does get the second!
Ow.
Nitro! Heads up, lad. Round's still on. Even though he's left, it doesn't mean he can't do that.
Well, that may be the round done. And the reason why I say that, Emmy, is... one, you're dealing now at a man deficit on a basement, which doesn't help. You usually need either equal man count or that extra man if you really want to put pressure on this basement. And also, Emmy, how on earth are they going to get rid of this this clash? You know, they can't overwhelm with manpower because they're down a man. I mean, the Blitz is going to be absolutely nullified if he tries to drop in here. He's got a smoke, he's got a warden watching for him. Yeah, just not going to happen.
Well, there's the catch out, there's the lockout, and there is 6-1. One round separates us now from that. I'm not going to say inevitable end, but well advertised, I think is fair to call it.
Oh dear. Again, just a situation where the structure I just don't think was ever in place. You know, going for that backdrop whenever you've really no map control, no map pressure at all. Not as though you're taking in towards garage or got a really good foothold of main stairs. Just tried to full send it down a hatch. That's it. That was the game plan. But ENX just playing what's in front. I mean, ENX, if you've looked at the webcams as well, so unbothered. Like, they really have been just so unfazed every round.
Oh, yeah. It's easy, right? There's not been any heat. There's not been any hate. There's not been anything. It's not even that they're sort of being tested or stressed, right? It is just, this is the game ahead of us. They're playing it, locked out, and
Attackers have located a bomb. 5 seconds
from this point onwards, you know, we'll see the sort of setup. We'll see how it cooks itself together. But at this point, as I said, they had to be flawless on the other half. You've had a couple of moments. I thought that was a great kill from the Deimos of Vicente, but outside of that, what has there really been? They killed Florio. He got himself up to 7-0, and then he found a limit.
He thought, I'll clock out.
He's done his shift.
So, I did mention that the top floor may have some issues because you do have the ranged hard breach open. Whenever it comes open and count the wall, you can do that. Nice little pick though, there from the glass. I don't think that probably expecting, you know, a glass smoke to be used that early on, but it has been able to net them. It's good for a kill, but of course that glass now has exposed himself to know what they're up against. So, minute left, and it just seems to be just a full square take right now from 9Z. Oh, what a shot! Flicks onto the head of Sexy Cake. Wow, 3-5 in the numbers, which I think really probably ENX or 9Z were expecting to get 2 early kills and also 2 early deaths, just from one guy on a glass.
Well, as the plant's being potentially secured, they move away. The C4 was read well, and there's some damage immediately done to Boxera. Couldn't get anything on towards Tuku. Oh, now they got almost everything on Sprayed Flu, and Florio adds another to his tally. Angels gets one more, and we're suddenly tied back up. The health is low on the 2 remaining players. It won't take a lot to force them out, but as a fight on stock plays together, it's maybe the only 1 versus 1 with the clash. Doing their best to try and operate their way around at this point. The full pick up and move around. They're trying to encircle this pressure point and force the players further and back. And you can see Florio wants to go and help that clash as the air jabs are coming in to try and just put pressure on the shield. It's Nitro. It's a great cross. On towards the player buried in the middle of the site now with the swing round. Either side of the hard bit of janitors. They're just trying to get them, but they're pushed up deep. They might not know they're about to be encircled from either side. They seem to be blinded and aware at least of the pressure. The Clash needs to offer some support, but they can't quite get there in time. Angels does get one. Waiting for the stock player to swing 30 seconds. They win that out as well. Vicente is going for the plant confirmed. A Clash against a Nomad. How are they going to try and opt to take this? The Clash obviously can set up that shield, potentially be problematic, but instead leans in with the SMG, gets some damage done back to them. 30 seconds. And I mean, Vicente's playing this brilliantly, going for the rotate round on towards janitors. Make it so they're unable to set up the shield and utilize it. They have to push for the fight and the kill. They're noisy, they're slow, and you have time to play with. There is a second round.
Yeah, really well played from Vicente there. I'm pretty sure there was an air jab on that double door, so it meant that the Clash just couldn't walk into sight and try and use that shield as a bit of cover. So, yeah, good job clutching up when you needed to. It does feel like kind of you're just delaying the inevitable, isn't it? Again, we've got, what, 4 match points still remaining for ENX? Yeah, it's massive amount of time for them just to get the one round. So they're going to need more of that. Again, very close round. Especially considering that they had, 2 kills just right from the rip. A 5v3, almost losing that as well. Bit of a worry.
It's almost like you can put it as a bit of a worry, right? That's fine. You're allowed to do that. I'm not going to stop you doing that. We've both watched the same game up to this point. It would be a surprise if they weren't in that situation with how the game has gone, with how they've played themselves. 10
seconds remaining.
Again, you don't want to be too negative, but it feels like they've had moments where they've started to dig in and then suddenly everything goes wrong and they just stop. They just sort of fall apart a bit. And it's almost like you're waiting for the wind to come in from the open window and blow the house of cards down and for them to then flip the table and be done with it. I like that they didn't. I like that they had a bit more fight in them. They have to be flawless all the way to the end from this point onwards, and ENX have a pretty decent choice of what rooms and rotations they can make, and if this one goes away from them, they can go back to the one that they've already won once. Yeah, they're a full sort of stretch. They've got themselves quite mobile with how they want to be and what they want to have set up, and then you look at the chance at where the pressure can come from. No shield to try and drive them in. They've got to see if they can just try and make it happen in the gunfight as they bait for them on the top floor here. Could be Sexy Cake making sort of damage done with the chance at a C4 up from here in Archives. And that's kind of what they're trying to force out. The Boogie Drone's done some work at removing them, but with the support structure coming through and with the breach happening now on towards Kanto, ENX, they actually look like they're wanting to challenge it.
I don't think that was the cannon wall open up. I think it was the and drop into. Do that also for 9Z. It is just a case of trying just to slowly work your way into a position where you can maybe just execute. If you know that there are a lot of defenders off site and you have like a Ying on board, you could just full send and just try and take, your 2v1s in the bomb site and try and get that plant down. So it is a risky strategy for ENX, so they're putting a lot of pressure on these site players that they need to try and hold on and make sure nobody comes in through that hatch.
Well, they've got one, but they have to try and pressure this, and as you sort of said before, there was a bit of hope in how they pulled it back and things started to go away from them. I want to see them make sure they can keep a lockdown here. ENX on the run, on the retreat, falling their way back, and as they go for those sort of clears and steady approaches, it's preparation, but preparation with the amount of time left is going to turn into a bit of a dicey moment. There's only one smoke canister still in the pocket and a C4. And Angels and Sexy Cake are actually trying to play up main stairs here. They're not giving the territory away. So this back end, I think they're just sort of watching and waiting, and 9Z are going to try and put the pressure on towards quad wall. I hope they don't just go for the drop hatch. There's the blind rolling its way around. It doesn't quite bounce down the way they expected it to. That one does, but I mean, a bit late to be checking the drones to make sure the landing spot is entirely safe. 15 seconds. They're just going to send it. I feel we're about to see the end of it. They pull themselves back in. There's a trade out, an easy couple of pickups. 6 seconds, no kit, 3 versus 3. They're in, they're off the kit, and they're going to hold F. But can there be a moment? It's a vertical potential retake. There's the swing round. There's the pre-fire. And that is all she wrote, Demo.
Guys still outside copy window. Well, that's all happening. Get yourself in there. Cover the plant. Oh, dear. I mean, look, we knew it was only going to go one way, Emmy, with how it started. Like, ENX were by far and away the better side. There's no denying that. And, yeah. What more can you say? Just probably a game that I think some of us may want to forget.